Good morning. Welcome to Live at 7:55 for this Wednesday, December 20th. Thanks so much for joining us here. I'm Mitch Taylor. Greatly appreciate your viewership here for Live at 7:55. And let me get the up on the screen here. Here we go. Trying a slightly different camera, which I don't know if I'm going to go back to again, because frankly, it's harder to see your comments. In fact, your comments are not flowing for me right now. I got to figure out why that's not happening. I know Casey's commented so far. Interesting. You got a little bit of technical difficulties here as we roll today, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. So today we're going to pile on the nice for two very special people. Number one, I want to pile on the nice. If you've been following us here for the last, Tom Heath loves the new angle. I don't know if I do, frankly, if I could be honest. And the reason why is because I have to look at the camera here versus here. And when I'm here, I can still see your comments and interact with you more. So it's a little bit closer. I stayed up too late, Joe Locke. Yeah, I was up till almost midnight, frankly, last night, working on a couple different projects for the mobile DJ industry. We had a Canada-wide DJ call I was on last night, and then also the Midwest DJs Live board call, which some great things are happening at Midwest DJs Live. So yeah, I don't like the new angle here myself. It's harder from the broadcast perspective. Maybe we'll do something with that in the future, but we'll see. So anyway, piling on the nice. Tradition started back at discjockeyamerica.com by our friend Bill Herman, and wanted to kind of carry on that tradition, if you will, here for Live at 7:55. How this works is we encourage you to use the hashtag POTN, acronym for Pile on the Nice, and put someone's name, share how they've impacted you. Don't tag them yet, because we want to make sure it's a surprise for them. Good morning, Wes. And we want to make sure that we are able to reveal the Pile on the Nice for them at a future episode, if you will. So today, Jim Collins, good morning. Yes, way back there. You probably won't see this angle again because it's harder for me to hear and hear and hear and hear and all good. So anyway, pile on the nice today. Be able to do something nice for Christmas. Say something nice about someone, connect with people, you know, that kind of thing. I would encourage you to do this in your everyday life, not just here, not just for Live at 7:55, but think about how you can impact someone in a positive manner, how you can say something nice, how they've impacted you, because you never know when life will take us. I just went back to a song when I hit that word and hit those lyrics. Someone Google it and find out the song if you want. It's a song that impacted me greatly when I was a young man, if you will. So anyway, moving right along. Good morning, Michael. Today, piling on the nice for Jim Horn is the first person. Jim Horn is a man who I've got to know pretty well over middle of the decade of the 2000s, and not so much as of late. Haven't hung out or talked as much, but he does great things in his market down in Louisiana, and just honored to know Jim and what he's done in his market and to grow his skill set. He's a great guy. So if you don't know Jim Horn, reach out to him. He's a wealth of knowledge, a great guy. We actually connected when he had work up here for his career in the Marinette area, about an hour from me. We had connected a couple years back now when he was up here for that. And Jim's a great guy. The second person I want to pile on the nice for is someone that has impacted you greatly. Whether you know it or not, this guy has had an impact on you in some way, shape, or form. And frankly, he and I have had ups and downs over the years, that's for sure. Excuse me. But he's a guy I've come to have great respect for, always had great respect for him because of what he's done, even though we sometimes have disagreed. We're on the same page now, and he's a guy who leads his life in a strong Christian manner, a guy who always wants to better the industry, and frankly, lives the actual content we have today for Live at 7:55, and it's none other than Ryan Berger. from MobileBeat.com and MobileBeat Las Vegas. So if you know Ryan, pile on the nice for him today. There's also big announcements coming from the MobileBeat Cruise coming up here in 2018. So look to MobileBeatCruise.com for that, or MobileBeat's social media channels, or even my social media channel. You'll learn more about the MobileBeat Cruise and how that's going to be bigger and better than it was even last year. And last year was a blast. Ask Robin Hood, ask Steve Wolf, ask Mark Evans, ask Ron Brown, all the people that were on the cruise. Ask Kane Humphrey, he was a trip, that was on the cruise with us. So speaking of the content for today, I talked about Ryan and how he lives this content, and I believe he does. And that is knowing your audience versus tried and true. And that is something that I would argue that, and I think I'm okay saying this because Ryan's admitted this too, the MobileBeat show has sometimes been in a part of, I know my audience, I know what they want, the tried and true format, right? There's two ways to say that phrase. I know my audience, I know what they want, or I know my audience, but what do they want? So think about that. The tried and true way of doing things, if you will, the first way of saying that phrase of knowing your audience, can get you stale and frankly can get you out of business. If you're not continually surveying your clients, if you're not continually listening to boards, if you're not, and I'm not meaning of a standpoint of every day, if you will, but you have to have your ear to the ground in the marketplace at least a little bit. You have to be picking up on what people are saying. You have to be understanding what future clients' needs are and realize that it's ever evolving. And I'll give you a great example, from the standpoint of the mid to late 90s, where mid 90s really, where the DJ was all interactive and games and blow ups and right? And then there was almost a backlash against that, where nobody wanted the cheesy interactive stuff anymore. And now we've come to some happy medium, if you will, of clients wanting some of those things and clients not. So if you don't listen to your audience, if you stick with the tried and true versus specifically keeping your ear to the ground and knowing what your audience wants, then you may be out of business if you stick to the tried and true too long, if you will. So the action item here for you is keep your ear to the ground. What specifically do you need to know? Where should you listen? The knot boards, Wedding Wire, your local online sites for brides, whether it be Facebook groups or whatever the case may be. Survey your past couples. Chat with your past couples. Ask your current clients. We have on our Tailored Weddings form, asking them what social media channels do they use. Because frankly, we need to know. Are they on Twitter or not? Because if they're not on Twitter, guess what? We're not going to be on Twitter. That's just the way it goes. So I encourage you to have your ear to the ground as much as you can, and truly know your audience for the right reasons. And don't just stick to the try, I know what I'm doing. This is what I've been doing for the last, and that also applies to your business. So if it's been a while since you've been to a conference, whether it's MobileBeat Las Vegas, whether it's a cruise, for example, MobileBeat Cruise, whether it's Midwest DJs Live upcoming in Milwaukee in 2018, our 10th edition of the show, whether it's just getting together on the Canada-wide DJ call that I was grateful to be a part of last night. It was an awesome experience. The Canadian Professional Disc Jockey Association is doing amazing things in Canada. Get together, find an outlet. It could be DJN-TV with John Young, whatever it is. Get together with your fellow brethren, your brothers and sisters, and talk about what's going on. Talk to people in your market. Connect with people. Survey your clients. There's all ways to keep your ear to the ground. But I encourage you to do it. Otherwise, if you stick to the tried and true too long, guess what? you may not have a shingle to put out there with your name on it. So that's it for Live at 7:55 for today. Greatly appreciate your viewership. If you know Jim Horn, nominated by Brian Harris, or if you know Ryan Berger, I encourage you to use the hashtag #PowOnTheNice, or hashtag POTN, I should say, excuse me. Use the hashtag POTN, tag them, Ryan Berger or Jim Horn, and say something nice about them. Even if you don't know Jim Horn or Ryan Berger, tag them and say, hey, I just saw Mitch's Live at 7:55. I'd like to get to know more about you. You know, I'd like to learn more about you and your business and find out more, because that's what ultimately I'm about. And Vicki and I have a whole podcast on it, is providing personal solutions through understanding people with creating connections. So thank you for watching Live at 7:55. This may be the last time we do this camera angle. Something I decided to try this morning, and it's hard for me to connect with you too and see real-time comments. But anyway, I greatly appreciate your viewership. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Live at 7:55.